Hey y'all, Tracy here with Just Dig It Farms. Welcome back to our seed starting masterclass. Today is part 5 and our last video of this series. Over the last couple of weeks, we have covered a lot of information to help you successfully grow your own seeds. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start some seeds together. If you've missed any of the videos in this masterclass series, I'll put a link to the Seed Starting Masterclass playlist in the description below, and you can go back and watch those videos. Y'all are in my office closet, and this is where I store my seeds. It's where my journals are. It's where a lot of stuff is stored. But my seeds are always kept right here. And this is my calendar that tells me when to sow what. So I'm just going to see what I'm supposed to be sowing today. And it's all pretty much cool season vegetables. And I'm going to take this whole container out to my greenhouse because I know a lot of what's in this container, the cool season vegetable container, is what we're going to be starting in the greenhouse today. I've got my plant labels and my garden markers, and we're going to go in my kitchen here and go ahead and write out the labels for all of the seeds that we're going to be sowing today. This is just easier to me. This is just a little easy step to do so that when I'm out in the greenhouse and my hands are wet and dirty, I'm not trying to write out labels nice and neatly. Today is January the 15th, and I'm starting cool season vegetable seeds. I'm in central Alabama, and I can grow cool season vegetables early spring, and I can grow them again in fall and winter. I like to get in an early spring crop of cool season vegetables before those yummy warm season vegetables start coming in. So my cool season vegetables would be like beets, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, collards, kale, kohlrabi, Chinese cabbages, lettuce, mustards, chards, radishes, sugar English peas, spinach, turnips, and rutabagas. So those are my cool season vegetables. Some of these I'll be direct sowing in the garden in around mid-February or so, like my beets and my carrots and my radishes and my English peas and my spinach and turnips and rutabagas. I'll be sowing those directly into the ground around the middle of February. Brussels sprouts are tricky. You've got to have perfect timing for the Brussels sprouts. They take about 90 days to 120 days, some of them I think, to actually produce. I finally realized in all my years of stubborn gardening that I just can't grow Brussels sprouts for an early spring crop. I've tried year after year after year, and they just take so long to develop that by the time they're actually developed the little sprouts, the little tiny cabbages, I call them, then the bugs are already after them. It's already too hot, and they get all diseased and eat up with bugs and nasty. And by the time they finally come in, I'm just sick of them, and I'm just ready to pull them out and get rid of them. So I'm giving up. I'm giving up on trying to grow Brussels sprouts and have that early spring crop because it just don't happen here. But I will always plant fall and winter crop of Brussels sprouts because I have plenty of time for them to develop then. So today we're going to be starting broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, collards, kale, and kohlrabi. And that's it for the cool season vegetables. We're going to start those today. I'm also going to be starting some herb seeds today from our Haas Medicinal Herb Seed Collections. And from the Premium Collection, we're going to be doing hyssop and yarrow. And let's see. And from the Deluxe Collection, we're going to be doing peppermint, passion flower, and echinacea. So we're going to go ahead and get these started. The first step is to fill up this 162 cell tray here, and I'm going to use the Haas Premium Seed Starting Mix. We're going to give this a try. I'm real excited to see the difference in this and in the Berger potting mix that I've always used. Just going to fill up all of these cells with this. This is really good seed starting mix. There's no chunks in it. It's really fine. Not picking out big chunks of bark or anything out, sticks or anything out of it. Once I fill up my little cells, I like to go through and just kind of press it down a little bit. Not too much because you don't want it to be compacted in there, but I like to just make sure that my cells are filled up and there's no like little air pockets in there, and then when I go to water it, it's going to be, the seed's going to be sunk way down in there. I just barely tap it down, and then I can see where I need to add some more soil in some of these. So 1 8-quart bag of the Premium Seed Starting Mix will fill up a 162 cell tray. Now the next thing to do is to water this in really well. We want to water it in, let it soak in good, come back and water it again. You want to make sure this soil is very, very moist. Anything that has peat moss in it, it's hard to get it moist in the beginning, but once you get it moist, if you'll keep it moist, then it really holds moisture. And we want to make sure this is good and moist before we sow our seeds, because if you have to come back and really heavily water this, you'll wash the seeds away. Maybe you'll wash them down in there deeper. So it's really good to just water this in as good as you can before you start sowing your seeds. Once the soil is good and moist, I just come in and make little indentions in my soil here where I'm going to be putting my seeds. A good rule of thumb to know how deep to plant your seeds is to sow them twice as deep as the diameter of the seed. So if you have a little tiny seed, you're just going to put it on the surface of this soil and then just barely cover it with more soil or perlite. But if you've got a bigger seed, then you want to plant that about twice as deep as it is round. Okay, I think we got all our little dibbles in here. Let's start with kohlrabi seed. All right, I've got Quick Star and I've got Purple Vienna that I'm gonna grow. We fermented some kohlrabi last year and we really liked it. All right. Now let's do this purple Vienna. And I like to put about 2 seeds per little cell, just to greater my chances of germination. Okay, so that is our kohlrabi. Now let's do some collards. And I'm gonna grow the Top Bunch 2.0 collard and the Georgia Southern collard. I'm gonna grow both types. We love collards. In fact, I've got some out there right now in the garden, my fall and winter crop. When I get through sowing these seeds, I'm actually gonna go out there and harvest some, and I'm gonna harvest some carrots because we've got a freeze coming in, and it looks like it's gonna be for the next 2 weeks. And I mean, it's gonna be in the teens. We're not used to the teens around here, so I'm not real happy about it. I am not happy about it at all. The cold temperatures are good. We need cold temperatures, but when it gets down into the teens, it makes it really difficult too when it gets down that low and it's freezing temperatures when you have a farm, because it freezes the animals' waters, and that's just no fun when you have to haul hot water out there to thaw out their water so they can have water. We're not, I know it sounds like I'm whining for a lot of you that are up north, and it's normal for y'all. I am whining because it is not normal for us, and I do not like it. I do not like cold weather at all. Next is cauliflower, and I'm going to do the Minuteman because it's pretty quick. It's only like 50 days for this, but I'm also going to do the purple graffiti just because I love the purple cauliflower. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of that too. I probably should just do the Minuteman because the purple cauliflower might be not quite ready when I'm ready for all the cool season stuff to come out and the warm season stuff to go in. But I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. We love the purple cauliflower. And I love to have a bunch of different colors in our diet because that's where you get a lot of different vitamins and nutrients. Also, when you're sowing your seeds, you want to make sure that you know the specific conditions that each seed needs. Now, most all of these and the cool season vegetables I'm doing here, they all pretty much have the same requirements. So I don't have to, you know, do anything special. But if you have seeds that like need light to germinate, you need to know that. If you have seeds like my echinacea seed, they needed to have some cold temperatures before they were sown in the soil. So I've had those in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Some seeds have specific requirements that they need to germinate well, and it's very helpful for you to know that when you're starting seeds. And I recommended this earlier, but you can do you a little label and print it out and put it inside your little seed box here with all of that information on it so that you have it right here at your fingertips. Now, all of these seeds that I'm sowing today, they all pretty much have the same requirements, just they're small seeds, so we're just sowing them barely at the surface in this little indention, and then I'm going to come back and cover them with some perlite. Let's do our broccoli next. Okay, the broccoli, I'm going to do 3 different kinds this spring. I'm going to do the green magic because it's only 55 days to maturity, so I can get that in and get it out. And I'm going to do this Asper broccoli. This is a broccolini, so we really like this, and I heard something about growing this morning that's helpful. Whenever you're growing this, you have to pinch off those first little buds that develop to help it produce those little tiny florets. And I'm gonna grow this burgundy broccoli. And days to maturity on it is just 40. Well, there's no picture, but days on it is 40. So we got burgundy broccoli, we've got green magic, and we've got aspabroc, the little broccolinis. I love knowing what all of y'all are growing. Y'all put in the comments what you're going to be growing in your garden this year. Are you growing any cool season vegetables for our early spring crop? And y'all tell me, what are some of your favorite things to grow? What are some of your favorite varieties to grow? I may not have ever grown them, and I might want to try something that y'all are doing. That's one of the fun things about talking to gardeners, is you get to share different varieties and tips and tricks and things that you like to do with each other. All right, cabbage. Let's see. I've got a lot of them here, but I got 4 different varieties that I want to grow, but I don't need that many cabbages. So I'm going to do like half and half. So this is red acre. So I'm going to do about 5 of those and 4 red jewels. And then I'm going to do 5 green boy cabbages, and I'm going to do 4 golden acres, and I'm going to do some early round Dutch cabbages. Just divide them up a little bit. This is the green boy. This is red jewel. I've never grown it either. And this one is red acre. And this is the little early round Dutch cabbages. These cells I'm going to use for the herbs. So let's see what we got here. Hyssop and yarrow. I don't really need a lot of these in my garden. The hyssop, I could use hyssop, but the yarrow, I've actually got plenty of yarrow in my garden. I've got tons of yarrow actually. And if I find some place to put it in the garden, great. And if I don't, then I'm going to share it with some friends. But the hyssop, I think I definitely have some room for hyssop in my medicinal herb border. Over on our Instagram and Facebook, we're doing little video reels every day telling you all about each one of these herbs and some of the benefits of them. If you haven't joined us over on our Instagram or Facebook, y'all go over there and join us. Follow us over there. We're sharing stuff on there every day, and it's just a better way that we can be in communication with each other, and we can share more of the daily stuff that's going on around here. Okay, we've got our hyssop and yarrow, and this is from the premium collection. So now we're going to do the ones from the deluxe collection, and we've got peppermint, passion flower, and echinacea. This is what we should be sowing now. But the echinacea, I didn't bring it out here. It's still in the refrigerator. So I'm going to just make a spot for it over here, and I'll do those when I carry this inside. And then my peppermint, I'm actually out of peppermint seeds in my collection here. I thought I had some, but they're all gone, so I'm not going to be doing the peppermint right now. I'm going to have to order some more. But I do have my passion flower. Now this is something else that I really don't need in my garden. I've got some that I grew last year. I've got it going on my fence in my medicinal herb garden. And I really don't need to sow these passion flower seeds, but I'm going to, because I want to sow these medicinal herb seeds with y'all in this collection so that we can grow our medicine together. And if I can't find a room for it in my garden or on my farm, then I will be able to have something to share with somebody. I love when my friends come to visit us and I can bring them out to my greenhouse and I can just share some plant starts with them, and we can get into a conversation about all the benefits of passion flower and what it looks like and how to grow it, and I just love that. That is so much fun. So my peppermint, I've got to order some more peppermint seeds. But we've got our passion flowers on there. We're going to sow echinacea here. And what we're going to do next is cover this with some perlite. If you don't have perlite, that's fine. It's not a big deal at all. You can just get some more of your soil and cover over the seeds with your soil. But I do have perlite, so that's what I'm going to use today. Perlite is a natural mineral in the form of volcanic rock, and it holds moisture really well, and it helps with drainage. And it really chokes you up too. You just want to cover the seeds. You don't want to do it too thick. You just want to make sure those seeds are covered. Our next step is to water. So I've got my little watering wand here, and I'm going to unscrew this shower head nozzle, and I'm going to screw on my little faucet nozzle because I don't want those seeds to get blown away or buried because of water pressure. And then we're just going to water in our seed tray. Now we're ready to take this in the house and put it on the germination mat. All of these seeds need a soil temp of 80 to 85. So I'm just going to set my thermostat here to 85, which is already set on 85. It's at 61.8 right now, so this mat is warming up. And we'll be set on this germination mat. This germination mat is a mat that radiates heat. So it will get the soil about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than it is in my house. The ambient temperature of my house is about 70 degrees. So this will get, by putting my seed starts on this mat, it will get the soil temperature up to about 10 to 15 degrees more, which would be 80 to 85 degrees. And that's what the soil temp needs to be for broccoli to germinate. And I know that because on my little mat here, there's this chart, and it tells me there's broccoli. My soil temperature needs to be 85, and they should germinate in 4 days. Once these little seedlings germinate and pop up, we need to get them immediately to light, either natural light or grow lights. So you have to keep a check on these every day, maybe even twice a day. Once we move them under our grow lights, we need to, at first, keep our grow light low to it so that that little seedling is not reaching for the light. That helps to keep them from getting leggy. So we want to keep the light kind of low to it. As that little seedling grows, we want to move this grow light up. You don't want it to be too close to the seedling to where it burns it up, but you also don't want it to be too far away from the seedling where that little seedling is stretching for the sun, stretching for the light, because then it will get leggy. And once your little seedlings become leggy, there's really not much hope in saving them. Now you're going to need to water these once, maybe even twice a day. Make sure they stay moist and wet And when you bring them over to your grow station, that's when you can use those bottom watering trays so that water's not splashing on everything. But you want to always keep those little seedlings wet, moistened, not too wet, but moistened. Once your little seedlings have developed their second set of leaves, which is their true leaves, then you need to start fertilizing your seedlings. And you need to do that once a week. But follow the instructions of your fertilizer because it's very easy to burn up those little baby seedlings. Now we're growing these seeds in little cell trays. So as soon as those grow and develop and establish some root system, then we're going to take those out of that cell and we're going to pot them up into 4-inch pots. And then from that 4-inch pot, it'll be ready and we'll be ready, the garden will be ready, the weather will be ready to transplant those out into our garden. Well, y'all, that wraps up our seed starting masterclass. There's a lot of other information that we could have included on this video about starting seeds, but I wanted to just keep it basic, simple, just the basic principles of what you need to know and what you need to do to be able to start your own seeds. Growing your own food from a tiny seed to a healthy plant to a delicious, nutritious, healthy vegetable or fruit or herb that you can eat and feed your body and feed your family, that is so rewarding and so empowering. So I hope that this little seed starting masterclass has enabled you, has given you the tools and the knowledge to be able to start your own seeds and to grow your own food and grow your own medicine. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Y'all stay warm. God bless you, and I'll see y'all on the next video.